I'm borrowing from Professor Dave Explains.
He knows a lot about all kinds of stuff. Professor Dave Explains.
Rutherford B. Hayes oversaw the end of Reconstruction, began the efforts that led to civil service reform, and attempted to reconcile the divisions left over from the Civil War.
And he also was a fraud!
In some of these points, he was modestly successful, but in others, he was a disaster. His ending of Reconstruction in the South reversed the social and political gains made by African Americans in the years immediately after the Civil War, leading to another century of racial subjugation.
All right, enough. Who is Rutherford B. Hayes? Well, let's find out who is this dude?
Mark Twain really is one of the most incredible and influential writers in American literature, and his influence is still very much palpable in writing today.
Called by many the father of American literature, Mark Twain was born Samuel Langhorne Clemens on November 30th, 1835, in Missouri.
When Samuel was 12, his father died of pneumonia. At the age of 15, he got a job working for his brother Orion's newspaper, the Hannibal Western Union.
Mark Twain became a cub pilot on a steamboat on the Mississippi River. He later became a full-fledged pilot, and he thought it was the best time of his life. But in 1861, when the Civil War broke out, the steamboat trade absolutely came to an end, and he was out of a job.
Twain very briefly served in the Confederate military. That did not work out, so he then headed west with his brother. He eventually made his way to San Francisco and really began his career again as a...
They forgot to tell you he was wounded, I think 5 times in the Civil War. Yeah, he was wounded. In the war that never really happened except on paper and film. And Boy Scouts trooping around the United States with drills and fakery. The Civil War was a hoax.
Journalist.
Twain's first big literary break came in 1865 with the publication of Jim Smiley and His Jumping Frog.
It was a huge success and was printed and reprinted all over the country. His first bestseller was Innocents Abroad, which was published in 1869, and it's still very much one of the most successful and widely renowned travel narratives of American literature.
Mark Twain's best-known and best-loved books, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, published in 1876, and Huckleberry Finn, published in 1885, are probably the reason that Ernest Hemingway famously said in 1935 that all American literature comes from Mark Twain.
Huck Finn shows the possibility of making genuine moral changes in a world that's dominated by racism and other forms of human folly. It also is a book that...
Okay, so we know a lot about Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and all that stuff. There's a channel where I think it's called Weird History. The gentleman brings out the point that he also wrote some books that were considered very pornographic. 1601, I believe, is the title of the book. And there's a different side to this one that we call Mark Twain or Samuel Clemens. And there's some weird things about him, such as the boat that he was on, and then his brother died. Supposedly he had a vision of his brother dying in an accident. Weird stuff. Why was there weird stuff behind the scenes? Well, it's because he was a high-ranking Mason and he was at the top of the cabal system. So we got to go to the Pictraive for a little bit of help, and I'll have to get get my lights on here so that you can see my tags that I put on these. Alrighty, so we've got Rutherford over here on the right and Samuel Clemens over here on the left. Rutherford B. Hayes is Samuel Clemens. Mark Twain is just another care actor playing the role of President of the United States. It's that simple. All presidents have been fake. All. I don't care whoever you think was your favorite. Your favorite was a fake too. Okay, so Rutherford B. Hayes over here on the right and Samuel Clemens on the left. As you can see, I don't do my videos in a professional studio. 84%, 69%, 81%, so you've been duped. I've been duped. The American people have been duped. We've been duped from day one. It's all phony. Everything that you think is so good about the American so-called democratic system is phony. Now I hope this serves as a real, like a taser to the mind. To shock you, because it's all baloney, all of it. Samuel Clemens or Mark Twain may have been an average author, and behind the average author was a team that created a big name. I can't prove this to you, but usually it is the case that they are just figureheads. They are just actors playing the role. And here we have actual documentation right in front of you that Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, is Rutherford B. Hayes. Well, once again, it's another wrap. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, end of video.